One of the things that I have found helps my students navigate Canvas to find everything they need is to use the module feature. I have modules right here on my left. And what a module allows you to do is organize your unit so everything is together. And you can see here I have, this is a page, this is a discussion, this is a quiz, discussion, assignments, etc. So I can use things from all over Canvas. I don't have to have kids go to quizzes to take the quiz and go to assignments to find the assignments. They can find everything pieced together into a neatly packaged module. And so if you want to use modules, what you need to do first is click on Settings down at the bottom of this left menu. Go to Navigation and make sure your modules are up in this top area. If they're not in the top, you'd find it down below and you can click here and say Enable and it will move up to the top. Then down at the bottom of the page, make sure you press Save. You would want to make sure that you tell your students to use modules. So make sure in an announcement that you post that they could easily find all of their assignments in modules. Now, how you would create a module is up at the top of the screen on the modules page. You're going to click plus module and you'll give it a name. And you can lock your modules until specific dates. So if you want to have your modules, let's say for each week of distance learning, you can lock all the future ones and then unlock them later. Like it will give it a date and it will automatically be unlocked for students. You could also add prerequisites where they have to complete certain modules before they can do other ones. Be careful with that. Sometimes if you have students that might have special like IEPs or 504s and maybe they don't need to complete every single assignment, you only want certain pieces of assignments, they would not be able to go on to the next module if you had that prerequisite set. So I generally leave that as no prereqs for my students. So I'm going to add the module and it's going to show up at the bottom of my screen. Let's see, it was week 3 of distance learning here. And it's not published. Notice that these modules have all been published. I just have some of my previous modules, like my biotech unit for my students. I have that minimized. But you can see that they're published. So you want to make sure that the module itself is published when you are showing it to your students. So I'm going to go to week 3 and I'm going to publish that. So students are going to see week 3, but right now there's nothing in my module. I need to start adding different things. And let me show you what I did on mine. So here, this is just text. And I used it to break apart, because this is actually 3 weeks worth of assignments here, but I did it to break apart my module into different sections. And then I indented the different things that are in each section. So this document that has their agenda and due dates, the question and answer, their phenomena. So this was like a quiz. It's not really a quiz. It didn't count as quiz points, but I used the quiz feature. And so all of those are indented. So how to add these is when I'm at this module, I click on the plus sign. And I can click on assignment, that's kind of the default, and I can find all of my different assignments. And I can add those to the module. And if I wanted to add something else, let's say a quiz, I can go to my quizzes. I could add files if I had any files saved in Canvas. I could add pages if I have any pages set up, discussions. Here's text header. That's how I created those sections that I mentioned that kind of help separate out the different parts of my unit. You can also add external URLs, web links that you want them to go to, or external tools. But the main ones I use are assignments, quizzes, I have a page or two and discussions, and then text headers just to help organize. Now, when I'm adding things, I can choose to indent. So one level is like kind of like one tab. Indent 2 levels is like I'm tabbing twice. Indent 3 levels, it's tabbed even further. So I can choose all of those different features to add to my distance learning. Then you want to make sure, I'm going to unpublish that so my students don't see that. I can add all these different assignments, and notice that I have all of these assignments up to here are checked green. Those assignments are all published. So those are what my students are seeing for weeks 1 and 2 of our distance learning. These ones here have not yet been published. So that's actually for the week after spring break. So these ones students cannot see right now. When I'm ready to show these, so after spring break's over, I will publish those assignments. But it helps students just kind of find things, because I don't want them to have to click on quizzes to go find this, and then click on discussions to go find this, and click over here on the left to assignments to find things. This puts everything in order and makes it super easy for the students to see exactly what they need to do. One of the things that I also did is I created an agenda and due dates. So they have this document to help support them. That's kind of an overview of what they're going to do each week, just so they have an idea of what's coming up ahead. So you need to make sure that your modules are moved up in your settings, and that you publish your module and publish the assignments you want students to see within that module. I have never had assignments visible to my students. I always put everything into my modules, so students don't even look at assignments, they don't even look at quizzes, because they don't have these in their left-hand menu. They only have modules available to them. So if you switch now over to modules, your students haven't been trained to look for modules, so make sure you post an announcement telling students that they will find all of their work in modules.